In this lesson, we will learn how to set up a new account on OpenAI website to access ChatGPT. And also I'm going to show you a quick demo as well to kind of demonstrate the incredible capabilities of ChatGPT. Okay, so when you sign up for ChatGPT, this is basically the homepage that you're going to see. And think of it as a smart chatbot. You just talk to it and it replies back to you. So to sign up for it, all you need to do is to click on that link on OpenAI website. And that is going to direct you to the homepage. So this is the homepage, basically. And all you need to do, especially if you're new here, you just need to say sign up. And when you click on sign up here, it's going to ask you to basically provide your email address and then click on continue. Or you can just continue with Google or continue with your Microsoft account. And once you do that, then you'll be directed to ChatGPT. And then I'm going to skip this part. And then I'm going to show you right away what ChatGPT homepage look like. All right, so here we go. This is simply the homepage for ChatGPT. And basically what you see here is because I upgraded my account to ChatGPT Plus. And at the time of recording, the fees is only around $20 per month. And basically this will going to allow you to access advanced models. So by default, ChatGPT is free, and ChatGPT runs on an AI model, which is known as GPT 3.5. It's basically stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3.5. And what you see here is simply the reasoning ability of that chatbot, which is the default ChatGPT. It's only 3 out of 5. The speed is actually very fast, and I'm going to show you right now, it's 5 out of 5. And then when it comes to conciseness, only 2 out of 5. However, the advanced model after ChatGPT is what we call it GPT-4. And GPT-4, and as mentioned here, basically it's an advanced AI model that excels at tasks that require advanced reasoning, complex instruction understanding, and more creativity. So when it comes to reasoning, it actually scored 5 out of 5, speed only 2 out of 5, and conciseness only 4 out of 5. And then over the next few lessons, I'm going to show you how to leverage GPT-4 and the incredible capabilities as well of GPT-4. But for now, let's go ahead and stick with the default. This is simply the ChatGPT 1. Even if you don't have a Plus account, don't worry, you will be able to simply type here in the chat and then see what ChatGPT is going to answer back to you. So basically ChatGPT, think of it as more of a Google search, but on steroids. It's super powerful, and it's actually much better than just looking up on Google. Let's assume that you'd like to look for who discovered the automobile. All you need to do is just type in who discovered the automobile, and then you press enter on your keyboard. So here we go. It's going to tell you, well, the invention of the automobile is attributed to several inventors and pioneers, and it's giving you kind of a concise summary of basically what you can find on Google. It'll tell you include Carl Benz and many other founders as well. And you can see these inventions laid the foundation of the modern automobile industry and so on. You won't be able to find links here similar to Google. And I'm going to show you how you can do that over the few advanced lessons in the course. But for now, basically all you get is a concise summary of the exact information you are looking for. Okay, let's assume that you would like to write an email and you would like to see how ChatGPT can help you out with it. Write an email congratulating my coworker, Heather, for having a newborn baby. The baby's name is Lila, for example. You press enter on your keyboard. So here we go. What you see right now is ChatGPT is writing the email for you. And what's powerful is basically ChatGPT understood from the context here that you wanted to congratulate your coworker. Her name is Heather. And that's why you would see Dear Heather here. And also understood that I'm referring to the baby name, which is Lila. That's why you would see here the name Lila has been mentioned across the entire email. And still to hear the news of the arrival of your beautiful daughter, Lila. I want to extend my warmest congratulations to you and your family on this joyous occasion. I can't imagine the happiness and excitement that you and your family must be feeling right now. Again, it's really incredible, like very well written email, and it's just at your fingertips, and it has been generated in a few seconds. Okay, what you can do as well is that you can ask ChatGPT to come up with ideas for you. And that's kind of the power of AI in general. Think of AI as, again, it's a digital brain that has learned or seen the entire internet. It kind of condensed all that information in just a bunch of numbers or equations. And let's go ahead and test it out. Give me 50 startup ideas in the field of artificial intelligence. And all you need to do is to press enter on your keyboard. And here we go. What you see here, many ideas. Can tell you an AI-powered personalized shopping assistance for e-commerce websites, an AI-based fraud detection system for online transactions, an AI-driven virtual interior designer for home decor and renovations. Actually, pretty cool ideas. You can see kind of AI is transforming pretty much every industry. And what you see here, AI-powered legal research tool for lawyers, an AI-based traffic management system for cities. And again, super powerful, and you can learn a lot by just interacting with ChatGPT. All right, another powerful capability of ChatGPT is in its ability to write poems and write songs as well. But let me show you what I mean. Let's assume that you would like to write a gift card to your boss who has just retired. Her name is, let's say, Sarah, and you'd like to thank Sarah for her mentorship, dedication, and hard work. Let me show you. So let's go ahead and write this here. So I'm going to say, write a gift card to my boss who has just retired. Her name is Sarah. Thanks, Sarah, for your mentorship, dedication, and hard work. All you need to do is just to type that in, and you press enter on your keyboard. And here we go. What I see right now is going to tell you, well, as you move on to the next phase of your life, I want to take a moment to thank you for your incredible impact you have had in your career. Your mentorship, dedication, and hard work have been an inspiration to me, and I'm grateful for the guidance you have provided. Your leadership has not only helped me grow professionally, but has also made a lasting impact on the entire team. Your unwavering commitment to excellence and attention to detail have been a cornerstone of our success. Again, super powerful, really amazing gift card. Let's assume that you would like to turn that gift card into a poem, for example. So basically, all you need to do is to talk to ChatGPT, and the power here is actually remember the previous prompt. So it's remembered what you actually wrote here before. So now if I would like to go ahead and say, well, could you please turn this into a poem? And you press enter, and here we go. Now it has basically was able to convert that gift card here into a poem. You would tell you, well, let's go ahead and read it together. Your retirement brings us to tears, for you have been with us for years and years. You have been a mentor, a guide, and a friend. Your hard work and dedication will never forget in the end. And you'll see it's kind of rhyming as well, super powerful. And again, all of that has been generated in seconds. As you embark on your new journey, we wish you the very best, oh, so earnestly. May the next chapter of your life be fulfilling and bright, filled with joy, laughter, and an abundance of light. Thank you, Sarah, for all what you have done. We'll cherish your memory always and beyond. Incredibly powerful. Okay, let's assume that you would like to convert that or turn that into a Facebook post with hashtags. So you can say, could you please turn this into a Facebook post with hashtags? And you press enter. I'll tell you what, sure. Dear Sarah, and this is simply a post, and you will find as well hashtags here at the end. And you can, of course, leverage that for content creation, for social media. And I'm going to show you incredible tools as well, incredible prompts that we're going to leverage when we move on to the content creation section of this course. And the final capability of ChatGPT, just not just the last but not least, basically you can actually ask ChatGPT to write code for you. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write a Python code that builds a dice roll generator. And you press enter. Here we go. Here's a Python code that builds a dice roll generator. And here you will see the Python code, actually very well written code. It's very well documented as well. All you need to do is to just copy that code, and you can leverage, for example, in your project. You can also see an explanation as well of us actually this code performs. Again, it's super powerful. What if you'd like maybe to convert that Python code to a different programming language? Well, you can do that as well. You can say, what about C? Basically, you're saying, okay, what about this code in C programming language? And here we go. This ChatGPT is kind of expert in many programming languages, in Python, in Java, in C, and it's super powerful and kind of converted right ahead into another or a different programming language in few seconds. In this lesson, I'm going to show you the power of GPT-4 or Generative Pre-trained Transformer 4. So GPT-4 is OpenAI's most advanced system, producing safer and more useful responses. Please note that GPT-4 is only available right now if you are a Plus member. pay like $20 per month for a subscription with OpenAI to be able to use GPT-4. So if you scroll down here, you will see some of the features of GPT. Basically, GPT-4 has an advanced reasoning capability. It can solve difficult problems with greater accuracy. Think of it as more of a digital brain, but it's much bigger from a number of neurons, a number of parameters, compared to its predecessor, which is ChatGPT or GPT 3.5. Basically, GPT-4 has seen a ton of data, and it's much larger brain that can perform or solve difficult problems with very high reasoning ability. So GPT-4 is more creative and collaborative than ever before. It can help generate, edit, and iterate with users on creative and technical writing tasks, such as writing songs, writing screenplays, or learning the user writing style as well. So let me show you an example here. So for example, if you ask GPT-4 to explain the plot of Cinderella in a sentence where each word has to begin with the next letter in the alphabet from A to Z, this is basically what you get. You get A, and then beautiful. Okay, so the second word is B here, and then Cinderella, and then dwelling eagerly, finally gains happiness. And what I'm going to show you as well in today's lesson, I'm going to show you ChatGPT versus GPT-4, and how kind of GPT-4 is a lot more advanced compared to ChatGPT. And I'm going to show you a few of these prompts coming up next. So GPT-4 surpasses ChatGPT in its advanced reasoning capabilities. So for example, here is ChatGPT versus GPT-4. Basically what you see here is if you have, let's say, an example where you'd like to schedule a meeting with multiple people, ChatGPT simply fails. Okay, so for example, if Andrew is free from 11 to 3, Joanne is free from noon to 2 p.m., and then 3:30 to 5 p.m. Hannah is available at noon for half an hour, and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You're looking for the kind of an overlap just for 30 minutes between Andrew, Hannah, and Joanne. What you get here is ChatGPT pretty much failed. However, GPT-4 can just tell you right away there's an availability between all these people from 12 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. Also, GPT-4 outperformed ChatGPT by scoring in pretty much most of the exams. One key differentiating factor is in the bar exam. ChatGPT scored in the 10th percentile, while GPT-4 scored the 90th percentile, which is pretty scary given that kind of the jump from ChatGPT to GPT-4. Let me go ahead and walk you through a few examples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back here to our ChatGPT. And what you see here is if you have the ChatGPT Plus kind of membership, then you'll be able to access GPT-4. And what you see here is if you just go to the default, which is GPT 3.5, you will see the reasoning ability is 3 out of 5. Speed is actually 5 out of 5. Conciseness only 2 out of 5. However, if you check out GPT, it has a very high reasoning ability. It's almost 5 out of 5. And of course, it's a little bit slower compared to GPT 3.5. Again, because it's a massive language model on GPUs, and that's why the speed here is quite slow. So let's go ahead and test both out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up first with this prompt. I'm going to say there are 100 murderers in the room. You walk in the room and you killed one of them. How many murderers are left in the room? And now I'm asking basically ChatGPT to tell me what the answer would look like. So if you go ahead and press enter on your keyboard, here we go, it's going to tell you, well, if you killed one of them, there would still be 99 murderers left in the room. Basically, ChatGPT didn't understand that because you killed one of them, now you became a murderer yourself. But that reasoning ability kind of didn't catch up here with ChatGPT. So if you go ahead and say, well, new chat, and I want to see what GPT-4 is going to answer, and I'm going to go back, use the exact same prompt, and just press enter on your keyboard. Here we go. First, you will notice that GPT-4 is quite actually slow right now. So you can see that after you killed one of the murderers, there are 99 murderers left in the room. However, since you committed a murder yourself as well, then there are 100 murderers in the room, including you. Much, much smarter, much, much better compared to ChatGPT. Let me show you another example. So let's assume that old Granny Adams left half her money to her granddaughter and half that amount in her grandson's name. She left the sixth to her brother and the remainder, which is $1,000, to the dog's home. How much did she leave altogether? These are kind of math problems, and we can simply use the exact same math problem and pose it to ChatGPT and GPT-4 and try to see if they are able to reason and calculate these equations. So if you press enter on your keyboard, and please know that this is basically GPT 3.5 or ChatGPT, it's going to tell you, well, let X be the total amount of money that Granny Adams left. According to the problem, half of the money left to the granddaughter. It's kind of solving here the problem for you. And then it's basically calculating and it's coming up with the overall amount. Therefore, Granny Adams left a total of 4,000. Actually, this answer is not correct. Let's go ahead and what GPT-4 is going to tell you. So I'm going to copy the exact same prompt here. I'm now using GPT-4. And if you press enter on your keyboard, it's going to tell you, well, let's call the total amount of money Granny Adams left is X. And see how powerful that is, how structured that is. She left half the money to her granddaughter, it's half X. She left half that money to her grandson, so that means 1/4X. And then she left 1,000 and 1/6 of that. And then look at that, look how powerful GPT-4 is, writing equations and solving for X. And it's very detailed, much, much better compared to ChatGPT. And by dividing both sides, when you get X equals to 12,000, and that's the exact correct answer. Pretty incredible. Okay, let me show you another example. So I'm asking ChatGPT to write a paragraph about traveling. So each word starts with the letter T. Let's go ahead and test it out. Your girl is going to tell you, well, traveling is truly the ticket to transcendental experience. So this is wrong. That tantalize the senses, okay? It teaches us to trust. It's kind of trying, but it's not correct. If you go back and you say, well, new chat, and I want to test out GPT-4 right now. And if you go here, use the exact same prompt. And here we go. Look at this. Traveling transformed tranquil tourists, tempting them towards thrilling transcendent territories, trekking through timeless towns. Again, pretty incredible. It actually got it right. And that kind of shows the reasoning ability of GPT-4 over ChatGPT. Okay. Let me show you another example. Let's assume that I would like to go back to ChatGPT here. I'm going to say, explain the plot of the Titanic, in which each word has to begin with the next letter in the alphabet from A to Z without repeating any letters. If you press enter on your keyboard, very well, sure, all right, here we go, let me give it a try. Aboard a colossal cruise liner named Titanic, bound for America with passenger quite iconic, came a young man named Jack who won the ticket in a bet. It's pretty cool. But what you notice here is basically they didn't understand what I mean here. Basically, it's kind of start every sentence with that specific letter. So A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, it's just kind of trying, right? But that's not exactly what I meant. So if I go back and if I say, please try GPT-4 instead, and I'm using the exact, and if you press enter on your keyboard, so here we go, it's going to tell you, well, abandoned boat cruise, destiny eventually finds glamorous heartthrob, ill-fated journey, kindless love. Again, it basically get it. So now I have A, B, C, D, E. Ill-fated journey, kindless love, maidens noble, romance sinks, tragedy unveils, valiant, watery. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, trying, which is pretty incredible. And of course, this is much better answer compared to the ChatGPT one. Okay, let me show you another example. Ample from the bar exam. So basically what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say, well, a husband and wife were married in state A and lived there for 10 years before separating. And basically this is kind of the law question. And we have 4 choices here, 4 options. And let's test out ChatGPT. So if you go ahead and press enter on your keyboard, it's going to tell you, well, the correct answer is D. And yes, because published in domicile in state B. Well, this answer is actually not true. The correct answer is C. And if you go back and test out GPT-4, and I'm testing it out again with the same prompt, you're going to tell me, well, sure, C, yes, because state courts had exclusive jurisdiction over this type of action. And of course, you can go ahead and read, kind of explaining to you exactly how they've come up with this reasoning. Super powerful. Again, much, much better compared to ChatGPT. Let me show you one final prompt. So here I'm going to assume that I would like to start an online store that sells handmade Egyptian jewelry that have a theme of the return of the pharaohs in alien style. I'm asking ChatGPT to basically suggest 50 names for the brand. Please note that we're going to learn in basically this course how to kind of develop our brand, how to come up with a logo for the brand, and how to come up with designs as well by leveraging the power of artificial intelligence. And let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT is going to come up with. So here we go. It's going to tell you, well, these are the names. So I'm asking for 50 names. So you find, for example, here pharaohs in space, aliens, pharaohs. For example, here like few additional names as well. Nebula, Stellar, for example, pretty cool names. Let's go ahead and see what GPT-4 is going to come up with. Again, I'm using the exact same prompt here. And look how kind of dense and how rich the vocab is. So you will find basically the ideas here are a lot more coherent, and it's much better names, and a lot more deeper names compared to the previous ChatGPT suggestions. So for example, you would see Cosmic Cleopatra Creations, pretty cool. You'll see other names as well. Let's say here Lunar Luxor Legends, pretty interesting. And again, you'll find it's a lot more, I would say, deep compared to the ChatGPT names that have been suggested. That's it. That's all I have for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Please note that moving forward, I'm going to primarily use ChatGPT, but you can simply use the exact same prompt for GPT-4. And you can also use it as well with Bing search, because Bing right now is powered by GPT-4 behind the scenes. And I'm going to show you as well Google Bard, Bing, and how to leverage all these tools moving forward. But again, you can use the exact same prompts that I'm going to use in the future with ChatGPT or GPT-4. But of course, you can get much better answer with GPT-4.